Hey everybody, welcome back to Survival Heights Season 2, my 1.17 amplified single player survival series. And to start things off, as per usual, I've got some updates for you all. Plenty of things have happened in this world that I want to show off. So without further ado, let's get into those updates. Let me show you all, particularly over in the Ocean Monument and one thing in the Nether, the things that I've done. So a lot of the major stuff in the overworld has happened over here at the Ocean Monument, and you'll see a few new things floating around the Ocean Monument. I don't believe I showed these off in the previous episode, but since then I built, I think it's 6 floating islands, I believe, and I've textured them, and I added some moss to them and a few other things. So if I actually have replay mod footage of building some of it, I'll show it on the screen right now. I don't remember if I did. It's been a few weeks, I think, since I did that from the time of this recording. So I'm not entirely certain if I recorded those or not, but if I do have some, you'll be seeing it right now. Anyways, let's take a closer look at these floating islands. Like I said, there's 6 of them, and the idea for this Ocean Monument was to have 6 or some amount of little floating islands around that we could put things on, such as custom trees, things such as statues, whatever we might want. And in particular, the big one up there, of course, is for the Nether portals. So you'll see some of the textures I have around here. I used a lot of the same textures for texturing as I used in the main islands. So the mossy cobble, the tuff, the andesite, as well as moss itself. And added all those with stone and dirt to give ourselves the texture that you see there. There's not a whole lot of slabs and stuff added to it. There are a few, but I thought it looked pretty good as is. So you can see we have one over on this side, and I do want to add, I think, some of the glow berries to these as well. I think it'll add a nice little effect to it. Over on the front here, we also have another one that's pretty far down. I tried to vary the size as well as where these islands were around the monument in terms of elevation. Island number 3 over here, smaller island number 4 over there. I think we have bigger island number 5 up here, which I already showed off. And of course, we have island number 6 up here in the middle, which is my favorite island. It's the centerpiece. It's directly center over the monument, so it's exactly center. And I believe it's still a perfect circle, at least the top is. It's directly center of the whole bowl area here as well. So I put a huge nether portal here. I moved the nether portal from over there up here, and we are going to decorate this hopefully in today's episode. That is the plan for it anyways. A little bit later on today is to decorate this with some Ocean Monument themed blocks and various things like that. But you'll see that I bone mealed the tops here. I added in some moss. I think the moss and grass combo like this with some bone mealed stuff on top works pretty well. We're going to work with this throughout as we move forward. We're going to work with this a little bit more, but I think for now this does us just fine. Speaking of nether portals as well, that is the second part of the update of things that I've done. So if we step on through here, you will see I've done a little bit of work in here. As you can see, we are finally on the nether ceiling. Over there is where I actually broke through the bedrock. We can actually travel over there. I believe the tutorial that I used was done by a person named EagleEye621. I'll try to link it down in the comment section below, as well as in the top right hand corner. Remind me, folks, if I don't do that. But this was a tutorial that I followed for a design for actually breaking through the bedrock. It required, of course, ender pearling onto the ceiling, and then a certain TNT and piston method. So you can see here, there's actually a cow down here apparently. You can see where I broke through the bedrock right here. You can also see all of the nether portals that we currently have been moved up here. So right here we have the farming base portal, so the main base where we've done most of our work throughout this series. Over here, obviously, we came through the Ocean Monument portal, and then way down here, we can fly down this way, is where the portal to our end portal in our stronghold and all that stuff is currently at now. I wanted to do this sooner rather than later. One, to get above the bedrock ceiling, of course, because we're gonna be building a gold farm pretty soon. But the second thing as well is because in the last world tour, I did get a bunch of comments about people not knowing where that end portal was at. So now that everything's on top of the nether ceiling, it'll be a lot easier for people to actually figure out where all the portals are. All they have to do is they just have to follow these. I should probably replace this stuff with torches now that I have some. I didn't have torches on me at the time that I was laying this network of paths, if you want to call them that, around here. So we'll have to replace that at some point. Oh, and before I forget, I should also mention that I've been using my to-do list book that I made eons ago. And as you can see, I have 5 pages. I've been writing down a whole bunch of things that we need to get done. Some of these things were already here. Others I've been adding. if I scroll through here, some of the things that I have added as a castlet spawn, that's a project I would like to do in the future, but we'll see if we get to that. I think I saw on here, I put down an end dimension castle, which could be a pretty cool idea whenever we want to do an end build of some kind. Of course, squid farm, possibly a raid farm, mainly just for sacrificial totems. I don't use totems in this world, so we wouldn't actually be using them for that. But you can sort of scroll through here and see some of the other things I have in here. Finishing crop farms, finish curing the villagers because that's not 100% done, build a gold farm, tree farm, a few other things as well. And as we continue to get ideas, as well as ideas you guys have, feel free to leave those down in the comment section below, by the way. But as we start to get ideas, I'll start putting more in here. That way, hopefully we never run out of ideas. I think it's pretty difficult in Minecraft to run out of ideas, but I'm sure people have done it before. Anyways, one thing I did mention off that list I want to get started with in today's episode, and that is building a gold farm. Now, I should have built this eons ago when we were first doing all the villager stuff, but I'm now realizing that I'm I have a very low supply of gold. And it would be nice to have another source of XP that is fairly efficient. Since we don't have the Guardian farm as an XP farm, because I opted not to make that into an XP farm, having the gold as an XP farm might be a good idea. So I'm gonna see what we want to build in terms of a golden XP farm. As always, folks, most of the time I don't use my own designs. I'm not great at making designs of farms, which is why I link people down in the comments, or not down in the comments, down in the description, as well as link to videos of ones that I watch for tutorials for things, especially if I do build them 100% block by block, because I'm not the best at building farms in technical Minecraft. I can build fairly well, but technical side really hasn't been for me over the years. So I like to give credit where credit is due whenever I do use somebody's design. But folks, without further ado, let me go ahead and get some materials together and get going so we can start building a gold farm. I settled on a design that is by Raiseworks, actually, for this world. It's a lot bigger than I was originally planning on building for a gold farm, but I figured, why not? We're gonna have this for a while, hopefully, so maybe it'll be useful. It is a gold and XP farm, but before I go any further, I want to set in one rule for this. I'm not allowed to AFK at this for multiple hours without doing some other things in between. Specifically, no overnight AFKs. In this world, I've been trying really hard not to do really much AFKing. It really skews the numbers, it skews the hours, it skews the days, a whole bunch of things when it comes to the world. And I'm also really trying not to be as away from things and more focused whenever I am in a world and actually trying to get stuff done for it. So this is just another way that I'm trying to make sure that all the hours that I spend in a world are actually put towards something useful, whether it's a build, a farm, or whatever it might be. And there's a few in the middle there, like the mob farm I've done a tiny bit of AFKing at for like 30 minutes, and things like that are okay, but I'm trying to limit this to just repairing tools, getting a little bit of gold that I need for projects here and there, and that's it. So yeah, trying to keep to it. You guys make sure to try to keep me to that as well. But anyways, folks, the time lapse is about up. Hopefully you all enjoyed, and we'll see a bit of a finished gold farm right after this. It's time to unveil the kind of finished product. It's not really finished, it still needs storage for it, but yeah, I know we're at a weird angle. It's because I wanted to switch views and see this massive thing just floating in the air. You can see all of the nether portals around us, and I just kind of put the gold farm right in the middle. So let's fly up there. Like I mentioned in the time lapse, this is a Raiseworks design. I'll put a link in the top right hand corner if I have not already, as well as in the description as well if you guys want to check that out. But let's head to the top and let me show you how this farm works. So we've seen this from the time lapse, right? We've seen all this happening here and all the slabs here that are preventing magma cubes from spawning. But what I didn't show you was the very center here. You'll see the turtle egg, which actually was kind of the hardest thing to get here, which is attracting all the pigmen here. You'll see the iron golem in the middle named Paul, by the way, as a little nod to Paul Hollywood, one of the hosts of the Great British Baking Show, if any of you guys do watch that. But it's surrounded, the iron golem here is surrounded in trapdoors, has two entrances here with trapdoors where the pigmen can fall in, and well, as you can see, the iron golem here is the one that's aggroing these pigmen basically and is allowing them to fall down. So you've got little chutes there. There is actually some lava down there, but if we jump off the side here, be able to go to the platform where we can actually hopefully get some XP. Yeah, as you can see, we need to add storage because this is actually kind of bad right now. One singular chest on each side is really, really bad. But yeah, you can see all the pigmen as they come down. You can see all the XP collecting here in the middle. All the XP that we honestly will probably ever need. As well as if we go to the side here, you'll be able to see all the stuff that we've been getting so far in the chest over here. A lot of swords. Like I said, I need to make an actual sorting system for all of this stuff because it's getting kind of ridiculous how many swords and whatnot are in here. So that's actually the next thing that I'm going to be doing, ladies and gentlemen. We do actually need a door right here as well. I should probably add that at some point. But that is the next thing I'm going to be doing, ladies and gentlemen, is actually making the sorting system for this. I'm not sure if I'm going to do just a simple one or what I'm going to do for it, but it probably will be pretty simple. I'm not great at sorting systems, so it probably will be a pretty simple impulse SV design, more than likely. But it is floating up here. I don't know how we're gonna get up here unless it's just elytra if you want to make a platform or something. I have no idea, but I'll try to figure out some of that stuff, ladies and gentlemen, and hopefully get back to you with a much more finished product in just a minute. So let's get cracking. Let me see how much I can get done. Ah, yes, the beautiful sound of pigmen dying behind me. Ladies and gentlemen, I have done the automated storage setup here, and as you can see, it's actually not that big of an automated storage setup. I did end up using the Impulse SV design for this. I do have, as you might be able to tell if I move to the right here or to the left here, I do have some dispensers at the very end to dispense all of the gold swords that we get into lava, because I thought about doing what Razework said in his video and actually smelting down the gold swords, but I realized I'm gonna get way too much gold anyways. And it's not really worth my time to put in fuel and to make the whole fuel setup and to maintain that. So why not just throw it into lava just like the old days before you could actually smelt those swords down to gold nuggets and keep going with it. But it's pretty simple. Like I said, Impulse SV design, we've got 5 layers of chests, 8 long, so there's 40 double chests on each side. And if we hop into here, the first few are all gold nuggets. The second few are all rotten flesh, and the same thing on this side as well. There's some gold nuggets here. I need to sort of, well, I actually need to get rid of these gold swords at some point. There's some gold nuggets here and some rotten flesh over here. So definitely not bad. And this is the haul that we've had so far. I mean, it's not very much at all, because I haven't, the only time I've spent over here is actually just building this. So as you can see, I built a tiny staircase, not a real staircase really right here, but this leads us up to where we could AFK if we wanted to. I'm not going to AFK, but this is where all the XP comes out to. And as you can see by my XP bar, I already have over 78 levels because I've been standing around here. Right after I do one side, I stood here for a little bit. When I did the other side, I stood here for a little bit. About 5 minutes each time I stood here and got a good amount of XP. So this is gonna be really, really useful for us when we do big projects and have a lot of different tools and things that need repaired. So I'm actually really happy that we have this. I was gonna just stick with an Enderman farm in this world for XP and just do like a regular gold farm that wasn't necessarily a XP farm along with it. But I'm actually really happy that we did this, because this is gonna make repairing tools a lot easier. I should probably also mention the glass floor here. The reason the glass floor is here is because I want to be able to access these chests pretty easily. So we might expand this a little bit more to this side, see if we can make sure I have some extra space here to fly onto, because obviously this isn't connected to the ground. So we really have no way up here outside of flying up to it. It's kind of a problem, but I don't know how big of a problem it really is if we're really just gonna be flying up here anyways. And I'm not really sure what to think about the color of glass as well. I used white up here and I used some like light blues. I think this is cyan actually down here, but I don't know if it really matters either. We might do a build around this, we might not. Honestly, we probably won't, just because of the size of it, as well as the fact that it is in the nether ceiling, like above the nether ceiling, which I'm almost never gonna be at unless I'm traveling from place to place. So there really won't be much use to building anything here, because, well, there won't be much use of it. We won't really see it all that often. But ladies and gentlemen, that is it for the nether. This actually looks pretty cool from down here. I'm really glad we got this gold farm built today, because it's good, like I said earlier, it's gonna provide a lot of good uses for us moving forward, and it's about time I got one. Obviously, as many of you are probably saying in the comment section below, I should have built it when I was doing all of the villager purification stuff, but better late than never, right? Now remember what I said earlier in today's episode about designing and decorating this nether portal above where our ocean monument is? yeah, unfortunately, that's not going to happen today. We're going to have to push that off to a later episode because this is where I'm going to end things off here today, ladies and gentlemen. Reason being, I've already spent a lot of time on this video anyways. It may not be reflective in the actual length of the video, but I've actually spent quite a bit of time building the gold farm and doing the various things that have been a part of this video. So I actually don't have that much more time left to get this video out in a timely manner. But ladies and gentlemen, like I said, I was gonna wrap things up here for today. Thank you all so much for watching today's episode. If you did enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like down below. If you're new around here and haven't subscribed yet, make sure to subscribe to stay updated whenever I have new videos from this series or any other videos that I post to this channel. But anyways, folks, take care. I'll see you in the next one.